More czars keep popping up in Washington. The White House appoints them. Congress can't vet them. We count more than 30 of them. My next guest working on a bill that would hold them accountable. He wants to let the Senate treat them like cabinet members and approve them or pull the plug on their funding. Congressman Jack Kingston is a Republican from Georgia. Congressman, I think you're a bit too late, aren't you? Half of these czars are already busy czaring, aren't they?
Well, they are, and I guess we did not anticipate that we would be working with an administration that not only is spending so much money and saving automobiles and financial services and health care, but along the side they would be appointing so many different czars. You know, no one is really sure how many they are. We actually counted 27 last week, but this week it appears that the number might be as high as 34. None have been approved or vetted by the United States Senate, which the Constitution calls for.
But isn't this, this was a deliberate series of appointments to get around that requirement of appearing before Senate hearings? Presumably it was designed to get around it.
Yes, and you know, even though Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi are content to rubber stamp whatever comes out of the White House these days, you would still think they'd have a little bit of tinge of guilt because of the constitutional. And the Constitution says, Section 2, Article 2, that the President shall get advice and consent from the U.S. Senate on his important appointees. And those appointees aren't just cabinet members, but sub-cabinet members, judges, and deputy secretaries.
Does it say the word important appointees? Because I'm looking down the list of czars, and we've got a Great Lakes czar, we've got a green jobs czar, an AIDS czar, a domestic violence czar, even a copyright czar. I mean, you could make the case that those are not important appointments and therefore not subject to Senate approval.
I think you can, but you know, there again, we need to ask, well, what is it that these people will be doing and how much policy influence will they have? Because we really do not know. We do know this, that the Stimulus Accountability Czar spent $18 million updating his web page. And, you know, if you're going to spend that kind of money, you ought to come through the U.S. Congress and at least have us a little oversight.
I tell you, Congressman, we're getting an awful lot of viewer email on this about the czars and how much they make. I'm going to read you one from Gloria Brown. She asks this: now that our country has more than Russia had in 300 years, do you happen to know what kind of salary and benefits Obama's emperors are receiving for their expertise? Well, yes, I know of just 4 of them. Let me tell you what they are. We've got 4 czars' salaries. Terror czar John Brennan, climate czar Carol Browner, they make $172,000. Urban Affairs czar Adolfo Carrion, Jr., and Health czar Nancy Ann DeParle each make $158,500 per year. What do you make of that, Congressman?
Well, I think that those are probably the average salaries. I don't know that there are many higher than 172, but I don't think there are any lower than 154 in that range. And then when you consider that most of these people are going to have a staff of 10, 12, maybe 25 people, multiply that out, and you've got suddenly 500 federal employees who will be in significant positions that will have influence to the President of the United States and access to the White House, and they're going to be spending millions and millions of dollars. And they do not come before the U.S. Congress. That's what's the most disturbing to me. We need to have more oversight of what's going on.
Was that $18 million to update a website? Did you say that, sir? You did, didn't you?
Yes. Oh. Yes. And all
right. Well, we're going to have to look into that, and I promise you, sir, we will. Congressman, thank you very much indeed. Flat out of time. Good stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.